This is the Books, Booze, and BS podcast. This week we'll be discussing A Novel Love Story by Ashley Poston. We'll also discuss Thanksgiving sides, also pies, and building a home library. Happy listening. Welcome to this week's episode of the Books, Booze, and Bullshit podcast. I'm your host, Mike Jakubowski, and today I'm joined by returning friends Sarah and Nicole, and we will have Kimberly making her podcast debut today. So let's hear some of Kimberly's fun facts, and if Sarah and Nicole want to throw another one on, they can feel free, but opening the floor to Kimberly.
Perfect. Thank you for having me. My first fun fact is I absolutely love to travel. I've been to, I think if I counted correctly, 19 countries so far, and I'm hoping to add maybe 5 more in 2026. Sticking sort of to the whole podcast theme, I'm also a huge book lover. My personal best year, I read 262 books. And my third fun fact, I have ridden 2 different kinds of camels. One at the pyramids of Giza and the other up the side of a mountain in the middle of the night in the Sinai Desert to get to the top for sunrise.
I never think I've seen a camel in real life.
I was going to say it's like crazy to ride a camel.
Oh, and like I guess I'll add like an extra fun fact in there. When I was getting my picture made in front of the pyramids on the camel I was riding there, he decided to relieve himself. So my picture has like droplets of urine in it and a puddle at the bottom. So it's really great.
I've seen the picture.
That's perfect.
All right. Did Sarah or Nicole want to throw in an extra fun fact?
Sure.
Is it time finally?
No, I'm saving that one for one with Celeste. We'll go with that I typically go to at least 10 to 12 concerts or shows, musicals a year. And we already have about 3 tickets for next year lined up. So we love our live shows.
Kimberly's also a big Broadway show person.
I am, yes. I went to like 6 shows in 5 days when I went to New York City last October.
Oh, that's awesome. What was the best one that you saw?
I think The Great Gatsby. Jeremy Jordan was in it, and he was phenomenal.
That's awesome.
And Nicole, any other bonus fun facts?
I guess like my current fun fact is I'm 33 weeks pregnant and still playing softball. So I guess we'll call that fun.
Poor woman.
Does it feel fun while doing it though?
It does. Like the whole running, like I asked my boyfriend, I was like, because I had to run the bases because I couldn't get a pinch runner like 2 weeks ago. And I was like, did I look fast? He goes, you were like running in slow motion. I was like,
nicely.
I was like, thanks. Appreciate it.
Well, so I know that Nicole's not drinking booze tonight, but what are you having for a fun drink, non-booze?
I have a peppermint hot chocolate.
Ooh. Is it from Starbucks or from home?
It's from home, from the Keurig.
Because I think Starbucks just released, I think it's only in the Target Starbucks. It's like a frozen peppermint hot chocolate.
Ooh.
Yeah. Kind of curious. But also going to Target anytime between now and Christmas seems like a nightmare. Kimberly, drink?
Well, I am joining her with the non-adult beverage. I have an Olipop Peaches and Cream.
Is that like a probiotic soda?
It is, yeah. It's actually a prebiotic, but yes.
Oh, sorry.
I don't think I've seen that flavor. That one sounds good.
It's really good, actually.
Sarah, booze?
I like that you tried to switch up the name of the podcast to Booze Books because booze is important. I am doing a passion fruit spritz tonight. It's like an Aperol spritz, but with passion fruit liqueur.
Is that a replacement bottle or the same bottle I bought you?
I was going to say, Mike bought this for me for my birthday. Same one. My dad and sister weren't a fan of it, so they didn't drink it all on me this summer.
Well, that's good.
Yes.
And Steph, if you're listening, you shouldn't be drinking all of Sarah's booze.
No, I mean, I share. Normally we would share and it would be gone, but it was too sweet for them.
And I am drinking a beer from Alvarium. It is a pumpkin spice latte ale. It's called Wicked Basic. And it's wicked tasty. All right. I know Sarah made the baked treat of the week. Did either Kimberly or Nicole make the baked treat?
I did not. I'm not a big pecan person. Plus, I
I'm
ran
with
out of
you.
time.
Yeah, I'm not a big well, I'm not either. So yeah, no, I didn't make it.
We're going to go pecan there.
I was. I almost said it because it's like caramel and caramel. You know what I mean? Like it just depends on what comes out of my mouth at the moment I say it.
My mother-in-law has very, very strong opinions on caramel versus caramel. We often have fun arguments about it. Sarah, I know that you made it for a family event. How'd it go?
Did. Mike actually gave me a day early, I think, so that I could make it for we did an early Thanksgiving with my dad and sister. So it was like beyond a fan favorite. Like everyone was obsessed with it. Me and my husband like talked about it for days kind of afterwards. I've never made a cheesecake before. And so I was really nervous. I've never even made a graham cracker crust before. And it was way easier than I thought it would. And it was really good, to toot my own horn. So it was definitely recommend trying it if you like to bake. And if you like pecans.
Yeah, I'll say, so I made the pecan cheesecake as well, obviously, but I only made it for Brendan and I, so we have like a shit ton of cheesecake left. I'll probably have to freeze a bunch of it, and if Sarah, you need another piece, or you and Craig both need a piece, I'll gladly share with you.
We had it with our family, and so there's 5 of us, and then we brought it over to our friend's house 2 nights later for dinner with them, and then we still had pieces left. It was so much cheese, and you didn't need a lot of it, much like normal for cheesecake. So,
well, it was funny. I finally had it last night, and I cut like these what I thought looked like moderate size slices, and Brendan's like, "Holy shit, is that like 2 pounds of cheesecake?" And I'm like, "Yeah, I don't think you can cut a small piece of this cheesecake." I will say that his one tip was probably next time to crush up the pecans versus having the whole halves, because it'd probably make it easier to cut.
I got chopped pecans. They were cheaper than the halves. So,
but going into making this, I'm not a huge pecan pie fan. It's for Thanksgiving, like I go apple pumpkin. Those went out for me. Usually don't go with pecan pie, but it is Brendan's favorite. So I've never made one of those. And I've also never made a cheesecake from scratch, only like a no-bake cheesecake. Not going to toot my own horn, but like toot motherfucking toot. Like this cheesecake was delish.
Yeah, it was so moist.
Ooh, it was moist.
And creamy.
Oh, Lord.
Sorry, guys. I had to go there.
Like the only thing that went wrong with it, and Sarah, I think you had the same thing. Like I had like a crack the size of the Grand Canyon on top of my cheesecake. And I think
the words of Craig, he said, "No one cares what it looks like. It's going to taste delicious."
Yes. But like it was also covered with the pecan, so like you couldn't see what was going on. I think it was because usually with cheesecake you cook it in the water bath, where this recipe had you boil the water ahead and put the water in a tray underneath the cheesecake and not like in the same thing.
Yeah, I think it would have cracked no matter what.
Well, we'll have to try. We'll have to try again. I think we have an eggnog cheesecake on the menu for later on the season.
Oh. And also, just a disclaimer too, I've never had a pecan pie, like a normal one, so I couldn't compare it for those who don't like pecan pie versus cheesecake.
Well, I know Brendan liked it, so I'm guessing that the recipe did a good job with that portion. All right, so before we jump into the book, we always talk about what's the best thing that you ate this week. So we'll start with Kimberly.
This is going to be like such a letdown, I feel like, but I had fried pickle spears with ranch at the Wicked for Good showing that I went to over the weekend, and they were really good, so I'm going with those.
You do like a good ranch.
I do.
Nicole?
Trying to think here. I guess the store near me does like a pilgrim sandwich that I absolutely love. It's like turkey, stuffing, and cranberry on a sub.
Nice.
It is delicious.
That does sound good. I'm not a huge cranberry person at Thanksgiving, but that could still be good. Sarah?
Honestly, it was the cheesecake. and I had 3 times, so 4 times. So every
It
time
had to
I
be
had
good.
it was really good.
Yeah, I'd say for me, it was probably a tie between the cheesecake, but also before my book event on Saturday, I went to my favorite bagel spot in West Hartford, Goldberg's, and got a cheddar bagel with bacon, scallion, cream cheese. That really hit the spot in the morning when I was already cranky for being up early, especially on a Saturday. All right, so jumping into this week's read, A Novel Love Story by Ashley Poston. Giving my normal disclaimer, there will be spoilers in our discussion. You can follow the timestamps in the episode description if you want to listen, but avoid any spoilers. So we're going to start with Sarah. What did you like? What didn't you like about the book? And were there any favorite quotes or passages you want to share?
Okay, so it was fine. Overall, it was a fine book. I liked it, and I didn't like it. I read quickly. You know, we talked about our ratings before. I gave it a 3.5, but rounded down to a 3 because you can't do half stars on Goodreads. So what I liked the town and the coziness, and of course I liked the cat because everyone likes a bookstore cat. I felt like the first 3/4 of the book was very slow and a little tedious, and it wasn't quite getting to the point, even though you saw the point. And then the last quarter went really, really fast, and I wanted more at that point. And I think overall, for me, the romance didn't really hit the right mark. I don't know. The fact that he never smiled, he was always kind of a jerk to her. I just didn't feel their connection that much, but I did want to keep on reading it. So it was a little confusing. I do love her writing style, and her descriptions are amazing. This is kind of a long quote, but I love, like, the first time she's describing the bookstore, she wrote, "Motes of dust danced in the sunlight that streamed through the windows. It looked a lot cozier as the colored glass window ornaments threw rainbows across the bookshelves and pirouetted across the hardwood floor like flecks of dappled sunlight on sand." So her descriptions for, like, everyone and everything was, like, flowery and wonderful, and you fell in love with a lot of the characters. I liked a lot of the side characters, I think, more than the main characters, I guess. And then I think my last 2 comments I'll make is I laughed when someone said, "No one says doggo anymore." And I immediately thought of Mike J because I'm pretty sure that's what he calls every dog.
Yes.
And then I questioned that they slathered their onion rings in cheese and chili. And I want to know if anyone else has ever had that because I'm kind of intrigued.
No, but I think that could be delicious.
Yeah, I kind of feel like that could be a good appetizer to share.
Like almost like a chili cheese nacho, but it's onion rings instead of chips.
Yeah. So I think that's kind of my overall. It was fine. It was okay. It felt like Schmigadoon. I forgot to say that. Like, right away, I'm like, okay, is this the plot to Schmigadoon? And yeah, so next.
Kimberly?
Okay. So I'm going to fully disclose that this was a reread for me. I read it for the first time when it came out 2 years ago. I think it was 2 years ago. Or was it a year ago? Now I don't remember. But anyway. And I'm going to echo a lot of what was just said because I also rated this a 3-star. But I do want to say that I love this author, and I echo a lot of what you just said around, how she writes and her writing style. I love how she describes things. It's very, I think, almost like poetic in how she writes sometimes. I do feel like the overall story was a bit of a letdown for me too. I didn't connect with the love story in this one like I have in other books that I have read by her. And I did something a little silly, and I'm going to admit to it, but I felt like she got a little too descriptive of the male main character in the book. And I noticed the first time I read it that she was sort of very hyper fixated on describing his eyes or saying something about his eyes, and that the way she described them was like mint or minty, and that she did it over and over again. So I literally did little tally marks when I reread it this time, and I got to 25
Oh my God.
of just mint and minty. And that's not counting all the other times that his eyes were referenced. because I think she described them as peridot,
Yep.
like, the gemstone, like at least 3-ish times that I can recall, and other things. So it was just like this over fixation to me with like his eyes. It almost felt like you got to the point where you had finished the book maybe and realized it wasn't long enough and you went back and just started adding filler is kind of the way it felt. Or that the editor didn't do their job well. I don't know, which is disappointing to me because, like I said, I have read other books by this author and I love them. She's like a must-read author for me. So I know you can't hit it out of the park every single time. It won't detract me from, continuing to read her stuff. But this one, just was probably my least favorite of all the books I've read of hers. I'll say that. Switching over to quotes, because like I said, I do love her writing style. And I think, when she is describing things, it's great. I think, Mike J., you're going to appreciate this quote. She did describe the male main character at one point by saying, "This man was made with tweed and argyle and sewn together with an Oxford comma." And for the others on this podcast and those listening, Mike J and I have a healthy love for the Oxford comma. So I really appreciated that quote. And if you're not using the Oxford comma out there, you're wrong. And then the other one, I'll say this one too. Sometimes that's how it happens. Sometimes your favorite book just hits you out of the blue like a bolt of lightning. I thought that one was a really good one too. And with that, I'll let the next person go.
And before we jump in Nicole's, I will say I'd also marked down the tweed with the Oxford comma comment and made an observation that she's an English professor at a college. Like, she probably just described like half of her coworkers. Like, she's surrounded by this description all the time. So like, it's not odd for this bookstore owner to be this description she gave. And Nicole.
So this is actually my first book by her. I do have her other books on my very never-ending TBR. I'll agree, it was definitely, for me, it was like slow to try to get into the book. I also rated it a 3 stars. But like once you got into it, like she's living probably everyone's dream. Like you want to be involved in your favorite book, like be in the characters and in the atmosphere and everything. The romance did kind of like throw me for a loop near the end of the book where he like didn't go with her.
Mm-hmm.
I was like, wait, what? I had to like reread what was happening because this one character just showed up and he's like, yeah, I think I'm just gonna go see where this goes. I was like, wait, what? I thought like this was happening. And then he like pops up at the end of, I was very confused near that part. But I do agree, it got quicker near the end. I did enjoy the story. I did enjoy like the writing and everything. It just was a little slower for me than I usually like getting into it. I know Saturday I saw Mike and I was like, I still have like 150 pages left to read.
And then I held up my book that I had at the book event. And I was like on page like 110. I was like, I'm a little further than you.
I was like, oh Lord. So, but I marked one of the quotes. It's kind of a longer quote, but it's pretty much like in the beginning of the book. But it says, sometimes a book can change your life. It's hard to explain that to someone who doesn't read or who has ever felt their heart bend so strongly to a story that it might just snap into. Some books are comfort, some are a reprieve, others a vacation, a lesson, a heartbreak. I just love that because books do everything for us.
Yep.
Yes, they do.
Anything else?
I think that's it.
All right. So I will, like usual, go into my super long-winded talk about the book. Like the concept of the book. And I think I may have liked it a bit more if I hadn't read The Dead Romantics or The 7 Year Slip by the author first, because those were 5-star reads for me. And
Same.
the whole time reading this book, I was like, something's missing. And it was just obviously those 2 other books had a stronger story. I think that's just what was missing. I know that Anders was supposed to be grumpy and have this main character energy, but like, I don't know what would have drawn someone to him. That, and I felt like the switch from Elsie hating Anders to starting to fall for him just felt like it came out of nowhere. Like, it was like she hated him one page, and the next page they're like making out. I'm like, okay, this is something. I also wish that the story had gone a different direction. I thought maybe since Elsie loved the town so much, she could have stayed there. Although I think that would have been a really depressing end for like her story of the book and life overall. I do think her staying those extra few days for the wedding helped wrap up what would have been the fifth book in the series, because it was like all the storylines like at the wedding all came together at the end. So I see what the author did there, but still just felt a little, just something wasn't adding up. Things that really didn't work for me at the end. I didn't like that B was Rachel, and I honestly don't think Anders would have left the town with B or Rachel returning. Like he didn't at first, but he did eventually. Like he knew Elsie for like what, a week, and then someone who looks just like his dead ex-wife and a character who's based on her characteristics shows up in town.
Beyonce.
He's like, "Oh, I'm
Beyonce.
still gonna leave." I just felt like I wanted him to stay a part of the town and not be able to leave. Like I wanted him to stay fake, like he was originally shown to be, because I felt like that would have helped put together like Elsie's growth in the book, because she'd be able to move on. It's funny because like seems like she was learning to be herself when she'd done everything to please her ex-fiance. I think his name was Liam. But then she goes ahead and opens a bookstore, which is the job Anders had, and it offered to do with him if she were to stay in the town. So yes, she kind of grew at the end, but then she also just like did what Anders did. So here's some quotes for me that made and broke the book. I did love on page 1. The local cafe was named after a possum that tormented its owner for years. I was like, ooh, this is a good start to the book. I think we all
I was
well,
wondering because no one brought up the possum, so I was wondering if somebody was going to bring up the possum. Also, did not know they could survive in water like 15 feet or something.
Yeah, that was
like,
crazy facts.
Yeah.
I was like, wait, what?
I feel like that's a random fact she heard at one point, was like, how can I fit this into a book?
That's such a Mike J thing to do.
I liked when Elsie thought she was going to have to sleep in her car and Gail warned her of bears, and Elsie's like, only you can prevent forest fires. Nom nom. When the bear was going to eat her. I did not like when Elsie shortened William Shakespeare to Willie Shakes.
No.
Something about that really bothered me. I never liked this, and it just happened to happen in this book. I don't like when actions between people are described as delicious.
Ew.
And the quote was, in that kiss in the rain, delicious. No.
I can't use that against you at some point.
Similarly, I know we talked about like there were some kind of issues like with the language use in this book. I also don't like when people call vomit sick. Like the act of getting sick is fine, like I'm going to be sick, but like not like the physical result. And the sentence she used was, I barely made it to the bathroom in time before I got sick, and still I got sick on my shirt.
Yeah, I don't like that either.
Yeah. Like I was like, to use that same word in 2 different ways in the same sentence it just didn't work for me.
That was like me and my obsession with minty that like happened in like 3 sentences in a row. I was like, what is happening with this minty eye situation?
Did you want something mint flavored after that, or were you like, I hate mint forever?
No, but I kid you not, there was a part where she described his eyes as minty and then like turned around and described him as tasting minty from a kiss too. So again, similar to what you're saying, like the overuse of the same like adjective, like I need to change it up, right? Like don't use it so close together.
Right. I did enjoy the scene when he offers to make her pasta and he's like pulls the 2 jars of the cabinet, it's like red or white, and she's like, oh dear, spaghetti sauces are not types of wine. Also loved when they were having girls' night and they had all the different names for sex. Some that I took from the book: slamming the clam, schnoodly pooping, boning the graveyard, feeding the kitty, stuffing the taco, filling the cream donut, parallel parking, and lust and thrust. Also, another thing that really bothered me, if you're going to reference a made-up book series in your book, you need to give it a name. Like, I don't know why it's bothered me as much as it did, but when they were talking about a series of books they read, it was I think that was the year we all read that vampire series and couldn't stop calling each other suckling, like the main vampire guy does. He groaned. I hated that series. We know it's not Twilight, so just give it a name.
Yeah.
And my last comment, I did enjoy towards the end that the author poked fun at her own book. So at the end, Prue and Elsie are talking about if they liked their latest book club book, and Prue did not like the ending. They're talking about the Dead Romantics.
Yep.
Oh, that's fun.
Yeah. It was some of the details they talked about. I was like, oh, that's a fun little ad.
I just thought of another quote that I forgot to mention.
Go ahead.
It wasn't the end that mattered, but every word leading up to it.
That's a good quote.
Right?
So typically with the book, we always round table if anyone picked out any actors to play the leads. So I will go with Sarah to start.
So I didn't really, however, occasionally throughout the book, young Ryan Phillippe from Cruel Intentions popped in my head occasionally just because he had the grumpy, smarmy, blonde hair thing going on. And then Isla Fisher, every once in a while, because they would describe her as copper hair. But again, nothing quite stuck. And I think we said this with another book we read where like they were just kind of basic characters to me that like I never kind of got around to an actor. And I tried to look some up and figured I'd let you guys come up with the good ideas.
So much like Sarah, I can only cast one character in this book, and Sarah's the only one that's going to get this reference. It wasn't Anders or Elsie. It was Butterscotch. And it was Sunny that I...
It's fine.
It's fine. I casted Sunny as Butterscotch.
Oh, cute.
It's our friends Eric and Natalie's cat. We'll go with Nicole.
Sarah, I really did nothing really like popped out to me because I'm also picturing the character as like I don't know, like the female main character. Like I forgot she had red hair to be honest. But like a thicker girl. I don't know why. So, but that's all I got. I like didn't really think about it's kind of hard to pinpoint these two characters. They weren't like super outstanding. They didn't like leave a big mark. So I don't even know who I would cast at all.
Well, it's got to be someone with minty eyes.
Yeah, minty.
Or peridot, which, by the way, are not the same color of green. That was another pet peeve of mine. I'm like, wait, how can you describe the eyes like two different? Yeah, anyway.
Well, that's how I kind of feel about Elsie's hair color. Like I wrote down copper, but then later on I felt like she's called it a different color. And so, yeah.
Maybe she hit the salon that was in town.
Maybe.
Kimberly, any casting?
I don't really, okay, this is just like a hot take, but I don't really ever picture any character in a book when I'm reading it as like somebody in real life. I just picture them the way the author is describing them, and it's just my own little movie picture in my head.
Mm-hmm.
So I can't really give you like an actor or actress because I never do that.
I mean, I guess it's better for you for when they finally make a movie or a TV show, they can't get it wrong. Because
I mean, they can because it's what I pictured in my head and it doesn't probably exist in real life. But yeah.
No, I agree with that. I don't really, and often like I know I'm going to be tasked with having to come up with someone. So I often afterwards try to look up people just because I know even not on this podcast, but he often asks me who I picture.
And like they were relatively younger in this book, right? They were 20s?
30s.
Oh, were they 30s?
She was 32 according to my notes.
Yes.
I was picturing like mid to late 20s, and I was having trouble like picking out an actor or actress to get in that age range.
Did you come up with anyone in the end?
No, I just came up with Sunny being Butterscotch.
Great.
All right, so I know Kimberly's read, I think, everything that's come out, at least like her like mainstream like romance books. Nicole, are you going to read anything else? I think you will since you have some on your shelf, right?
Yeah, my never-ending TBR. Yeah, I have, I think, the Dead Romantics and the 7-Year Slip.
They will be better than this one.
Yes.
This one was like I had already purchased this book before I even like signed up. Well, I told you whatever podcast to be on. And when you picked this one, I was like, well, that is on my TBR. So don't need to buy it.
I am a man of the people. I try to help out as much as possible. Sarah?
I read a short story by her that was part of like the Kindle Valentine's Day release. And I liked it. It was a cute short story. But I haven't read anything else by her, even though they're both The 7-Year Slip and Dead Romantics are on my TBR. I have promised Brendan that I won't let this influence my opinion of those and that I will still definitely read them, which I want to. I mean, again, I like her writing style a lot. The characters didn't hit it for me, I think is really what did it.
All right. And then what we always ask, did you find the ending satisfying? Kimberly?
Oh no. I was kind of let down by the ending. I'm not gonna lie. I feel like similar to like what has already been stated earlier that I got a little frustrated with, Anders staying in the town and not leaving with her. Like, what are you doing, my guy? Right? Like it's a fake character that just showed up, right? It's not really your fiance. And then not only that, not only did he not go with her, but he spent like months while she's like, getting this bookstore up and running. He spent months, I guess, in his words, trying to become the guy that she deserved or whatever, but like no contact. And so the whole time she's just thinking like he's, still there. And so when he showed up, it felt like kind of like, oh, okay, great,
Yep.
for you, I guess.
Sarah?
I agree with that. I kept on wanting, something more. Like I wanted Elsie and Anders to like finish the book, like writing it and come.
Yes.
Or I wanted maybe that once he came back, everyone else kind of comes to life. And, some of the other, I think, Mike, you kind of talked about that a little bit. Like, I wanted everyone to be alive and real all of a sudden because they solved the mystery of the last book. Or I don't know. I just wanted something more. And I just feel like Kimberly just said, like, it was just kind of I didn't care that he came back. It was just, she would have been better off just with Prue and her bookstore cat.
Nicole?
I agree with both of them. Like that really irritated me when he didn't go with her. Like he's like, yeah, just kidding. I'm just going to stay here and see where this goes. And then I felt like she like moved on. She like didn't fall down a rabbit hole after like leaving, and she got her life together, did what she wanted. She got a little jab at her ex-fiance or whatever he was, at his new wife, like likes the bookstore, wants to be involved in like the book club. And I think she commented like towards him, and he's like, oh, I just do whatever she likes, which is why he left her, because she was doing whatever he liked. And I thought that was a nice little jab. But like, I would have been just fine if Anders never came back. I would have been pleased with the ending.
And I also, for me, like, a lot what you guys said, but also I want to know what the time frame and chapter jump was between the second to last chapter and the last chapter, because he's in the bookstore and then it seems like he's kind of like now working at the bookstore. Like, is he living with her? Like, it seems like it wasn't a big time jump, but it seems like he's just like now like fully invested in life, and like they've still only known each other for like a week.
With months apart.
With a giant time jump.
Yeah.
So I'll say not satisfied with the ending.
I agree though that I wish all of like the characters became real, because I think that would have been really cool too, that like because they had like completed what would have been the fifth book or gave them purpose without a book, right? Like their stories continued without there being a book written about them. I think it would have been really neat if they had become like real people.
Right. I kept on imagining them like coming into the party at the end,
Yeah.
and, like
Yeah.
ways, or I don't know.
Or I would have been happy if they showed up at her bookstore. Like,
Right.
like all of a sudden they're like, hey, we're cheering you on, because, they all became friends.
Right.
I also will say that I was kind of waiting for like the reveal at the end, like she actually got into a car crash. And like this was all in her head. But nope, just some random town that's going to disappear forever.
Yeah, I was gonna say that doesn't really quite seem like with the author's genre.
I don't think you can call that a romance at that point, Mike J.
Well, maybe then she meets someone who looks just like Anders, but it's not him.
Or falls in love with the doctor.
Yeah.
Yeah.
There we go. We're back on track.
Soap opera.
So any more comments about a novel love story before we move on to the bullshit section of the podcast?
Nope.
I think we're good.
All right. So this week's episode will be part 2 of our Thanksgiving conversations. So we will start with, what is your favorite side dish served at Thanksgiving? And has it changed along the way? Or has it always been the same favorite side dish? We will start with Nicole.
I love Thanksgiving, so I love all Thanksgiving food. But I'm a big stuffing person. Also, like I made last year, it was like it's Teeny's
The
mac and cheese.
How was it?
Yeah. Oh my God, it's so good. My nephew like loved it, and like he asked his mom, I guess like a couple days later for mac and cheese, and she's like, okay. She pulled out the Kraft, and he's like, no, the one Auntie made. And she's like, I'm not making some bougie mac and cheese. But there's a lot of cheese in it. It's like super. I'm planning on making it again this year, but it's definitely like a lactose intolerant person's like worst nightmare.
And so if stuffing is your favorite, is it the best at Thanksgiving or is it better somewhere else?
I'll eat stuffing no matter what. But I think like all the fixings and everything with Thanksgiving, it just makes the stuffing. Like just the atmosphere.
And Kimberly, favorite side?
I'm going to go so basic here, but classic like mashed potatoes and gravy are and have always been my favorite. I do just love potatoes in general, though. I mean, not to quote like Lord of the Rings here, but like boil and mash them, put them in a stew. I don't care. Like, I love potatoes. So, yeah, I can go on mashed potatoes and gravy.
And are they best at Thanksgiving or is it better somewhere else?
I think best at Thanksgiving because, again, all the other like sides and like turkey and, all of that makes them better.
Sarah?
I'm a stuffing girl as well. It's always been my favorite. Back in the day, my mom used to make a very basics, stovetop stuffing, and it was amazing. But now, like, there's more fancy stuffings. It's hard to say. Stuffing recipes. And they just, to me, they keep on getting better every year. And so stuffing is 100% my favorite. And to answer your next question, I do feel like you only eat it at Thanksgiving, which might make it more special.
And I'm going to go for the shocker here. I will also choose stuffing as my favorite Thanksgiving side. I do think it used to be mashed potatoes, just because, like Kimberly said, like mashed potatoes are life. But there's something that my mother-in-law does when she makes stuffing that like I could just eat like a full plate of just stuffing when I go to Thanksgiving at their house. And like I don't know what the magic is and what she puts in the stuffing. I think there is sausage in it, but I'm not 100% sure.
Yeah, the one that I make now has sausage and sage in it, and like it's just the flavors are just so good.
And I will say, like most people, we only eat stuffing really at Thanksgiving. If my favorite was still mashed potatoes, that's a pretty common side to get at restaurants and especially steakhouses that can be like prepared a multitude of different ways. I still dream about the truffle mashed potatoes that NCL had on their steakhouse on their cruise line. Like those mashed potatoes were just delicious. So I'll kick off. What side would you eliminate from the Thanksgiving table? Mine could be either cranberry sauce or squash. Neither do anything for me, and they're both very easily avoidable at Thanksgiving. Kimberly.
Oh, I'm going all in with you. Cranberry sauce, especially if it's like out of a can and still shaped like said can. No, thank you.
Like you don't want like the little lines in the can on the outside? It gives little slice marks.
Nope, sure don't. Don't want any of that gelatinous flake mess. No.
Nicole?
Oh God, we were just talking about cranberry sauce too. I was asking my boyfriend, like, hey, do you want whole fresh cranberry sauce or you just want the canned? And he's like, I want the canned because it's ribbed for your pleasure. I was like, Jesus. I was like, okay. I'm not like a big squash human either. I'm not a big vegetable person. Like I'll eat a green bean casserole, but I like mostly like any vegetables you put in front of me are not gonna get eaten whatsoever.
It's not the best part of Thanksgiving.
No.
Sarah?
I am also a team cranberry sauce is disgusting. However, I don't want to eliminate it totally from Thanksgiving because so many people I know absolutely love and adore it, to the point that every year I try my stepmother-in-law's cranberry sauce. She makes like a homemade one, because the amount of like reviews and like my husband just raves about it. And every time I'm like, it's just jelly and gross and cold. I don't want it.
And it's funny because like I fucking love Jell-O, which you would think like it's a consistency thing, but no.
Yeah, to me, it's the cold factor. Like, I don't want it. But the thing is, so Nicole, you were saying about the Thanksgiving pilgrim sandwich you had. Like, I love cranberry in that sense, and I like cranberries. It's just the gelatinous cranberry sauce at Thanksgiving. It's gross.
Yeah, I guess I'm not a fan of cranberries in general.
Oh, see, I make a really good cranberry bread, and that's really good.
I will also kick off best Thanksgiving appetizer because I'm going to fight anyone who doesn't say it's deviled eggs.
Oh, I've never had it for Thanksgiving appetizer.
Really?
Nope.
Huh. So what's yours then?
I just wrote down cheese, question mark.
Oh, that's also a good
That
option.
was the answer.
Yeah.
Little charcuterie action.
So in my defense, so I do Thanksgiving, like I switch off every year, and often wherever I go, it's different things. Like, so we're hosting this year and there's only 4 of us. And so all we're going to have for an appetizer is some cheese. That's all I've planned. So, but I like any type of appetizer. I was thinking of making like the cranberry brie bites that like are everywhere, I feel like, on Instagram, because they look delicious, but
Effort.
yeah, after all, the turkey's in the oven, so I'm like, oh, I can't put more in the oven.
Air fryer.
Yeah, I couldn't find a good recipe for it in the air fryer. I did look. I thought of you.
And you thought of that why?
Because you encouraged me to get an air fryer.
Lies. For all the listeners, I told her for years to get one. She declined. And then someone else said she should get one. And lo and behold, now she has an air fryer.
In my defense, I got it as a birthday present, and I didn't ask for it.
But now, what do you think of your air fryer?
I kind of love it.
Yeah, there we go. All right, Kimberly, best Thanksgiving appetizer.
I do agree with you. Deviled eggs are good. And then I'll kind of like throw a curveball in here and say it's probably more snack, less appetizer. But my family always makes like homemade Chex Mix. We call it party mix. And that you can just like graze on at any point of the day. So I'm going with that too, just because it's something that like we always have at like my family get-togethers.
Let's also, it gave you like the snack that leads up to the appetizer. So you gave both. Nicole.
Like cheese is definitely one of our big ones. Or like somebody throws out a shrimp cocktail, which is strange, but that's usually good to go. I've made in the past, which I love. You like take like a small like French bread, you cut it and you broil the pieces, and then you like put goat cheese on it with a slice of pear and a drizzle of honey. And I'm really big into that one.
I will say one that I forgot about, which is probably second to deviled eggs. It was something that I learned from Thanksgiving as a child. So you take like red pepper jelly and put it on cream cheese with crackers.
Oh yeah, I like that.
Yeah, that was something that was from like Thanksgiving as a kid that our family friend Gail used to bring over. So that makes it usually into party appetizers now. So it's not necessarily just a Thanksgiving thing, but I learned about it from Thanksgiving. Is there a part of the Thanksgiving meal that you think is unique at your family's table? Nicole.
Trying to think, because a lot of the times we're sometimes split up, but usually it's not like the Thanksgiving meal. It's usually like after the Thanksgiving meal, like the card games and stuff like that. But grandma can get sassy during that time. But usually there's nothing too exciting, I think, with my family that we do.
But no unique food to the table?
No, we're pretty basic white people. Not, it's not like now that like we've gotten older, like the grandkids have gotten older, like we've taken over a little bit more of like the cooking. My aunt and my grandma, like I grew up on my grandma's cooking, but like they don't add a lot of spices or flavor, just very kind of bland. So we kind of took that over.
Yeah, that's probably for the better.
Yeah, like my aunt thinks like a little too much pepper is spicy. So it's kind of a tough crowd.
Sarah, anything unique food-wise at your Thanksgiving table?
So my sister and I were probably the pickiest kids when it came to food when we were little. So my mom knew that she had to make something for us. So she would always make her lasagna with her homemade pasta sauce. And so still, whenever we go to our families every other year, I usually bring a lasagna, which just seems weird, but it really is delicious with everything. And so this year I'm actually making one tomorrow because I've been craving it for like a week and a half. Like I just need the lasagna right now because it's Thanksgiving. So kind of different, but it goes well with the turkey in my opinion.
Kimberly?
No, I don't think we do anything like special or different. I mean, it's just the classics, really.
So mine, I'm going to caveat because I have gotten feedback from our last podcast episode of Thanksgiving that apple pie is not something that is done in the South and the Midwest for the most part as a Thanksgiving meal. So I guess my unique thing is my mom would always make homemade apple sauce as a side dish for the table. And I don't think a lot of people do it. Mom always did it for me. And now my mother-in-law also makes me homemade applesauce to add it to the Thanksgiving meal. I know.
So now you make me feel special because we also had homemade applesauce with our stuff. My grandmother always made it.
Yes. All right. I'm not alone.
No, my sister has to have like applesauce with any type of meat she eats. So my aunt breaks out the homemade applesauce for her during like the meal.
I feel so hurt.
I'm just jealous because now I want some homemade applesauce.
Yeah, right. It's pretty easy to make.
I was going to say, can you like jar some up from Fred's house for me?
Yes. All right. Carry over from last week. Best pie and worst pie. Sarah.
So I mean, again, was a picky kid. Apple is obviously my favorite because that's probably the only thing I ate as a kid. I don't know that I have a worst pie because I don't know if I've tried enough pies still.
But
I
is
mean,
there
I
one?
like pies. I there isn't a pie I haven't liked. I'm just not often. I mean, now I'm more adventurous, but I think I'm still learning. Mike, last week you've said that you've never had a strawberry rhubarb pie, and I had one for the first time like a year or so ago, and it was amazing.
Mm-hmm.
So I highly recommend you try one soon. Get one from Lyman's. I think that's where I got mine from, and it was really good. But yeah, I can't really picture one that I would be really disgusted by. I'm still not sold on the idea of a banana cream pie, but I'm willing to try it.
I'll make sure you get one. Phrasing.
I think I'm just a little nervous about it. I don't know why.
Kimberly.
So you just made me think of something else that may be slightly unique from like a Thanksgiving perspective. My grandmother, my other grandmother, always made a chocolate peanut butter pie. And that was another thing we always had, along with like the classic like pumpkin and apple. And I think that's probably my favorite, or any other like fruit leaning pie, or not fruit, citrus leaning pie. I love like lemon meringue, key lime. Banana cream is really good. You should try it. Just throwing that out there. Worst pie. I'm going to continue our debate on how to pronounce pecan or pecan. I'm going to go with that. It's probably the worst. And it's not that it's probably bad, just not something it's going to be the one I go to first. Though I will admit, I'm not really a pie person per se. Anyway, I'd much rather go for like brownies, ice cream, something else.
I agree with that. I think that's why I had a hard time with it. Like if there's a cookie around, I'm going to be eating a cookie over pie.
Yeah.
And Nicole.
Apple is like one of my favorites, but I'm really big into blueberry. Blueberry pie probably has to be my top there. Strawberry rhubarb is good too. My aunt makes it quite a bit, but my aunt also makes a lot of her pies with like not real sugar. So a little different on that end. I don't know if they're like I guess a pie that does not sound appetizing to me is like a mince meat pie.
Ooh.
That sounds absolutely dreadful.
I just watched the holiday Great British Baking Show and they just made a mincemeat roll.
Oh, I miss Mary Berry on that. I'm just pointing that
I love Allison though. She's
she is
delightful.
good.
I make Sarah sometimes when we're drinking watch Great British Baking Show.
I do love it.
It is a good show.
I've never watched it like true fans do.
Favorite pie for me is either apple or banana cream, like I said last week. And to offend Nicole, my worst is blueberry. It's too much blueberry at once. I know, I've offended you now.
Yeah, I'm very sad now. I love blueberry.
It's funny, like as a kid, like my friend Lynn and I would go like blueberry picking, and like I would never eat any of the stuff that we went out and picked.
Oh,
Like her mom would like, make a pie, and I'm like, I'm all set. All right, last Thanksgiving question: are you team parade, team football, or team post dinner nap? Kimberly,
Football.
Sarah,
None question mark, but I do record the parade so I could watch the musical numbers.
and Nicole.
football.
Excellent. I'm also team football, so Sarah, you lose.
Well, I mean, I'm happy again. I'm happy everyone has their football. I just don't have to watch it.
My team always plays on Thanksgiving, so it's just normal.
And it's either a good day or a bad day.
Oh, well, with the Cowboys, it's usually bad. So,
They won this week, though, right? They beat the Eagles
yeah, when I turned on the game, though, is it like
21-0.
Yeah, and I was like, oh my gosh. I'm like, is this really what's happening? And then somehow they pulled it off.
All right, so we're going to discuss having a home library. So first question, are you team paperback or team hardcover? Sarah.
I like both because I like books. But if I had to choose, I do like paperback a little bit more, mainly just because I don't worry about ruining them as much. And I have this whole thing about you have to read a paperback on the beach. You can't bring a hardcover onto the beach. So I guess paperback.
Kimberly?
I'm going both. I'm going to elaborate on what
I was going to
just-
say, give me more.
Yeah. I would say paperback for reading, but then, if you're going to be collecting and what looks best on your shelf, hardcover all the way, especially for like your favorite like books and series.
Nicole?
I would say both too. I'm like looking around my library currently. I agree, like paperback reading because I don't like the cover on the hardback. Like I feel like it gets annoying when you're trying to like read, but like the hardcovers look like really much better on the shelves. But I also do hate when they like switch it up and like the series is not all the same. That does irritate me.
Oh, you just like broached a subject that I am very passionate about.
Would you care to elaborate?
I cannot stand when they like switch it up on a series or like I'm talking size of the book,
Yeah.
the cover art, the font. I am also very passionate about like those permanent stickers that you can't get off of a cover.
Oh yeah. Mm-hmm.
I'm like, I'd rather it be a regular sticker. At least I can take that sucker off. But don't print a fake sticker on the cover that I can't get off of the cover. Yes, I'm very passionate about keep them matching and let the cover just be the cover.
Mm-hmm.
And I probably lean team paperback just because I don't like that a lot of hardcovers change sizes. So like it doesn't look nice on a shelf when they're all different sizes, but paperbacks are pretty consistent. Like, yes, like some are skinnier than others, but like they're all generally the same size. And you can fit more on the shelf.
True. True.
All right. Do you fall into the trap of buying special editions of books you either have already read or already own? Talking things like sprayed edges, collector's editions, different covers sold in different stores. I'm going to go with someone who I know falls victim to it, Kimberly.
I knew you were going to call me out, Mike J. Rude. Yes, I do. I already had The Nightingale by Kristen Hanna, and I recently purchased the 10th anniversary hardcover edition with sprayed edges to, go up like, a serial killer, like displaying her trophies. And it's beautiful. I also may or may not have purchased like special art dust covers to replace the ones that came with my favorite series, which is Throne of Glass.
Same.
See, I'm with my people. Okay. Yes. So there, Mike J.
Well, I was going to say, like another serial killer who likes to display her trophies, Nicole.
Yes, I do. I have fallen victim to it. I have quite a few special editions, which like they're on my shelf in the front with like all my signed copies and stuff like that. Like one of my favorite series, The Divine Rivals. I had gotten that in like a book subscription, so then I like pre-ordered the second one. But I'm also big into like looking at the European covers, like the Europe covers compared to the US covers. And if I like theirs better, I'll buy that one to go with the US cover.
Are you going to like Waterford's or like where are you getting your European ones?
Blackwell,
Okay.
they're free shipping to the US because like Heartless Hunter or like it's like Heartless Hunter and the Crimson Moth, they're the same book, but like two different titles. So I had to get both one of each.
I've only read the first one of that series, by the way. I haven't read the second one yet.
I haven't either. It's on my TBR. I just haven't like read
Same.
it down.
I have a never-ending TBR, but also Divine Rivals is amazing. And have you read her other books?
The new one that just came out?
No, her older ones.
No, I haven't. I got the new one. I just haven't read it yet. I think it sounds like it's the prequel to the Divine Rivals, sort of like before Divine Rivals happened.
Oh, I didn't even realize she had a new one. See, I just learned something.
I think it's called like it's Wild something, but I got it for my book of the month subscription.
Well, I will say that I don't often fall victim to the special edition, collector's edition. And I think the only one I can think of off the top of my head was when they released The Seven Husbands of Evelyn Hugo with the sprayed edges. I didn't own it yet, so I was like, well, there's no time like the present then to spend $20 more than I need to and get this version of the book. But like Nicole said, every time I go to either London or Dublin, I am hunting for my favorite books to see if they have different covers or different editions. And between my last two trips to Europe, I did get two unique Jeff Zentner covers. Obviously, the books I already owned because I'm probably Jeff's biggest fan. But I did manage to find two different Europe covers. And there's an Emily Henry book that is titled differently between the London version or the UK version versus ours. It's the people we meet on vacation. It's called something different over there.
I do like her covers like over there compared to like the American ones.
Agree. And not to like go backwards, but I could not like in the moment think of the book series I was talking about by Rebecca Ross. It's A River Enchanted and A Fire Endless. It's another duology by her, and it's really, really good.
I've heard of the first one, not the second one, but I'll have to look it up.
All right. So do you have a designated space or room in your house that holds your books, or is it more like a smattering all around the house? Sarah.
I actually have 3 designated spots in my house. My downstairs, I have a bonus room and it has bookshelves, which I've been begging my husband to build some more because there's some overflow going on. And so those books down there are all my TBR books. So where my advent calendars for Mike go every year and anything I haven't read yet. And then upstairs, I have a small bookshelf. Well, it's not that small, but I have just a standalone bookshelf that has any books I keep, my favorites, and then it has like my books from like childhood on it. And then in the office, I have a bookshelf that has nonfiction and memoirs and things like that.
Kimberly?
I have just like dedicated bookshelves for my books. And I figure you can like organize any which way you want to. That was part of your question, right? Like, do we have a designated area?
Oh.
Maybe.
No, I had not asked that one yet, but feel free
Just
to give your
kidding.
answer.
Oh, okay. Sorry. I jumped ahead. I like took notes about your questions, so I would have them like handy. I was just gonna say, I figure, you can organize your books any which way you want, is all I'll say. But I will say, I don't understand people who turn all their books pages out unless they're like sprayed edges, because how do you know like what anything is? Unless you're tracking what you're reading and it's like an incentive to like get through your physical TBR, then I understand it.
So, Sarah, I'll bounce back to you. Is there a correct way to organize your books, and do you follow that method?
Yes, the correct way is by author, by their last name. I was a librarian in college, and so that is the dorky answer. And yes, I absolutely follow it. Sometimes Craig will walk in, and I'm just sitting there like reshelving books in the downstairs, and he's just like, "You're not at the library anymore. You can stop."
It's your home library, though.
It is my home library, and it has to be in order.
Nicole?
So I do have like a room downstairs that I've made into my own library that I put all my books that I've read in which that is organized by genre pretty much. And then like upstairs, I kind of redid the living room a little bit, and all my bookshelves near our fireplace, my like TBR books, and those are just organized all willy-nilly actually. So yeah.
You're like kind of organized, but kind of not.
Yeah, upstairs, because every time I get a book, I'm just like, okay, like put it on the shelf. And then I was putting it on I have some book carts with like books I kind of want to read like right away. Like right now has like Christmas books on it that I definitely want to try to get to read this month and next month. But I'll have to like go searching sometimes. But I do have them organized a little bit upstairs by like nonfiction. So I know like if I'm looking for one of those, I can go right there.
All right. And for me, most of my books are in my office at home. I said probably like 98% of them. Then we have a couple that we just like showcase in the living room as like some of our favorites. And when looking at it the other day, I realized that only one of the two books I've written is in that pile. And I think it's kind of rude that I or Brendan didn't put the other book in the pile to be displayed. And I don't follow what I believe to be the correct method. My books are kind of a mess at the moment. But if I were to organize them, it would be all paperbacks together by author and then all hardcovers together by author. Because I told you before, I don't like the different sizing. So it would be separate.
I will absolutely sneak upstairs next time at your house and just organize them for you. Give me like a half an hour.
I will push you down the stairs. All right. And so throw out a ballpark number. How many books do you own, and how many of them do you think are unread? Kimberly?
Well, I may or may not have counted my
Yes.
book just because you asked this question. Right now, which is low because I did get rid of some books, I'm sitting at like 232.
What
So-
like that, but she has an exact number.
Yes, well, may slightly have a little bit of a perfectionist problem. Anyway, 232. Of those, how many have I read? This is when I have to tell on myself. Probably like 35% of them, maybe.
So you got some work to do.
Yeah.
All right. And so with that, we'll combine the two questions, put it out in the world, because I follow you on Goodreads. What is the next book that you're going to read off your physical TBR shelf?
I already know what this is. Ninth House by Lee Bardugo. I'm finally going to read.
Good book.
Good book.
And I'm going to follow it up by the next book, which I've already forgot the title of, the second one.
Hellbent?
Hellbent. That's right. Yes, I'm going to read both of those.
You know the third one comes out next year, right?
I did not know that, but now I do.
Wait, there's a third one coming out?
Yeah, it's
Yeah.
coming out fall of 2026.
Which I had already read the Shadow and Bone series or trilogy by her. Which
I read.
I want to read those ones so bad.
It's good. I've read all of her. I will read anything she puts out. The latest one she's put out, though, was a little different for me.
yeah.
It was her historical fiction.
Oh, she switched it up. Got it.
The Familiar was like historical fiction, but also like fantasy. So it was a little weird for me.
Yeah, I started the audiobook on that. I think I ended up turning it off, and I like never do that.
I didn't love that one as much, and I wouldn't have been able to do it in audiobook, Mike. That one definitely jumped too much.
Good to know.
I do have Six of Crows, that duology by her too, that I have not read. That's also on my physical TBR.
That is a good one.
That was actually almost what I wrote down when Mike sent this as a question, and I'm like, no, I want to save that one still.
All right, Sarah, how many books do you own and how many are unread?
So I think there's probably 400 to 500 books in this house. And I know, so I don't know when it was, but me and Mike got this dorky library app a while ago, and I've been keeping it up to date. And according to it, I have 346 unread books in my house, which sounds like a lot.
And you're about to get 28 more, so Advent calendar's coming. It's 25 plus 3 bonus in case we already own some of the books. And what's going to be your next physical book off the TBR list?
So I have kind of two, literally they're sitting downstairs right now. I'm either going to read The Nightingale finally by Kristen Hanna, because like I said before, I often save books because I sometimes think it's too precious to read some that I'm looking forward to. Or I have a little pile of holiday books, much like Nicole said. I have Holidays on Ice by David Sedaris, Skipping Christmas by John Grisham, and one other one that now just went out of my head, The Santa Suit or something like that by
Mary Kay Andrews.
Mary Kay Andrews.
Yeah.
I read that one.
So I have those three. So it depends what mood I'm in. If I want a good historical fiction or if I'm ready for holiday reading. It'll be one or the other.
Nicole?
I haven't counted and I'm too scared to. Probably close to Sarah. Like my TBR is huge. Like I know I probably have more books to read than I've actually read. And I blame the authors. They're coming out with all these series and you're like, crap. And you just can't like catch up at all. I can't. Yeah, I'd probably close to 500 and I probably have like close to 300 I need to read.
And the next physical TBR?
The 8 Heartbreaks of Hanukkah, actually.
Are you on that episode, or is that just?
No, I am on that episode.
All right. So outside of the podcast requirements, what is going to be your next?
Probably like a holiday book. Like I have read Lori Gilmore's, like all of her books. So the Gingerbread Bakery, I think it is.
God, I hope it's better than Pumpkin Spice.
Pumpkin Spice Cafe.
Yeah, I've read all of them. So this is like her Christmassy one. I have that one. And then Megan Quinn's It's Something You Filthy Animal.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah.
Yep.
So I have that one that I'm really interested in.
I love Megan Quinn.
But I have quite a few like holiday books that I've like bought in and then like moved over. There's so many like I want to read and I just haven't. There's not enough time. Not enough time.
We just need to all quit our jobs and just.
I wish.
Yeah.
Merry Christmas, you filthy animals.
That's what it is. I read her
my iPad sitting here so I can look stuff up.
I read her one last year. The kind of like how it's like neighbors stole Christmas.
Mm-hmm.
That one was good.
Have you read her series about the first one's called A Not So Meet Cute?
No, I haven't, but I've seen it and I've wanted to try it.
You need to read those 3. Highly recommend.
Perfect.
I'm having a hard time gauging how many books I have. I did not do a good job in counting. I'm going to say it's somewhere within 350 to 500.
Whatever.
I know.
Usually.
Well, I'm looking
Twice
at I'm looking at all the different spots in my office alone that have books in them.
Well,
And
that's
I
the
was,
thing, Mike. So in my bonus room, there's 350 books out there. It just
yeah,
doesn't seem like it's that many.
so maybe I'm on the higher end.
Yeah.
And I'd say probably 300 of them are unread, if not more. If we're going closer to that 500 number, that 300 number is going up with it. My TBR books, if I'll do one holiday, one non-holiday. So my non-holiday will be The Brothers Hawthorne by Jennifer Lynn Barnes, because I'm a little behind in that
You
series.
haven't read those yet?
Now I have that, Games Untold, and The Grandest Game sitting on the shelf.
Such a good series.
It is. I have one left. The Brothers Hawthorne was pretty good.
I think that's the next one in the series I haven't read, so I think I have to read that one next. And then my holiday book, it's a random one I think I picked up at a library book sale with Sarah. It's called How Snowball Stole Christmas, and it just has a kitten on the cover with a Santa hat. So I think that's why I chose it. I know that's why I chose it.
I was going to say, there's no think in that sentence. Absolutely, you knew.
So yeah, maybe I'll bring that one when I'm flying to Europe and read that in the plane. I'll be like, oh, kittens, and maybe I'll meet some European kittens.
Yep.
It's a goal.
I feel like I'm like really letting myself down here because I don't have near the amount of books that you guys do.
Then I think for Christmas you need to buy more.
Now, listen, I did cut myself off because I was buying way too many physical books. And like I said, I did get rid of some. And I've really just embraced the Libby app. I'm really like going library as much as I can.
See, I think that's great. Yeah, I think the reason my library exploded is because we've been going to a lot of library book sales where you can get like the bag of books for $5.
Oh, yeah.
And like, there's like 20 to 25 books in a bag. So
Yeah.
I'm a bit of a book snob. I like to have like a new book that nobody else had.
And I appreciate that. I'm now like lately though, if I would be just taking it out from the library and then returning it.
Yeah.
I do a lot of my book shopping on thrift books, which mostly is like a lot of my Ellen Hildebrand collection because I'm trying to like read all of her books and bed through thrift books. And I've gotten some like they're okay, but some are like in really good condition.
I haven't read anything by her, but I know Brendan liked a lot of her books.
I've probably, I think I counted the other day, I've read like 27. No, not 27, maybe like I'm in the 20s of her books.
Wow. All right, so we've made it to everyone's favorite segment of the podcast, the rapid response segment. I will give each of you 6 topics, and I want your immediate reaction at what comes to mind when you hear them. Should I be nice and put Kimberly first?
That's not nice.
All right, I'll throw it to Sarah first. Nachos Belgrande.
Is that from Taco Bell?
It obviously is.
I mean, it'll probably be delicious, so we'll just go with delicious.
Woody Harrelson.
Amusing.
Facial hair, but only a beard.
No.
Hometown buffet.
Gross.
Press your luck.
Amazing.
Ted Mosby.
The worst part of the show.
All right.
Wow.
Kimberly.
Yeah.
Cheesy Gordita Crunch.
Yummy.
Jonathan Bailey.
Oh, yummy.
Facial hair, but only a mustache.
Depends.
Golden.
I mean, I was just going to say, I mean, some people can pull it off, but most can't.
Golden Corral.
No.
The Price is Right.
Love The Price is Right.
Joey Tribbiani.
How you doing?
All right. And that leaves
Oh no.
A Crunchwrap Supreme.
Oh yeah.
Glenn Powell.
Oh god, that's the only reason why I watched the new Twister.
I haven't watched that yet, but I love the original.
You watch it for the plot. Okay, Glenn Powell.
Facial hair, but only bushy sideburns.
God, no. Oh,
Nacho cheese sauce on a hot dog.
no.
Wheel of Fortune.
Ooh, Vanna White.
And Michael Scott.
I don't know who that is.
From The
From The
Office?
Office.
Okay. Now I know. I see. I never have watched The Office.
Probably the biggest revelation on this podcast.
I
Well,
think somebody has homework.